What's going on YouTube? It's Brazen back here with another video for you guys. If you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys want to hit a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new here, and leave a comment letting me know you subscribe so I can welcome you to the family. And that being said, cue intro. What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Madden 20 video for you guys here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to beat the primetime early years solo. So I'm going to focus on 4 of them. I'm just going to focus on the ones that are a little bit harder to do. For instance, this one, don't allow passing touchdown and win the game. I mean, that's pretty easy to do. Things like that. It's just about winning the game. Those ones are a little bit easier. Primetime Premier is the one I'm going to start with. Score a touchdown this drive and then return a punt for 30 yards. So that's the first one I'm going to do. Because we are going to do a punt return, I'm going to hopefully show you guys how to do this punt return easy. It's not going to be perfect every time, but if you do this, it does help you get those extra yards that maybe some of you guys don't necessarily do. So hopefully that'll help. And then scoring the touchdown after, that's the easy part. And then, like I said, I'll show you guys some other ones as well that I think are a little bit harder. The full game ones, or like the ones that are score 27 points and a half. That's pretty easy, right? I mean, it does take time because you do have to score 27 points, which would be 4 scores, but it's not that bad to do. So right here, score a touchdown this drive, but we got to return the punt first for 30 yards. So if you don't return the punt, you're definitely just going to want to redo it. So I just go return middle. It doesn't really matter. You could take guesses and go right, left. That doesn't necessarily matter. It's all about, how you return it. So right here, I'm definitely going to go right. But what you want to do is come downhill first. You want them to get close to you. That way you get outside. Then you're going to make a juke, but then stay upfield. Do you see how I go in and then out? Because if you go in, you can see their angle they take. And then when you go out, you get those more yardage like that. If you guys can see how easy that is. So right here, I scored the touchdown, so I actually completed it in one play. So if you score the touchdown, you complete it in one play. If you just get the 30 yards, then you just have to actually score the touchdown. But that's the easy part. But did you see how I go in and then out? Definitely replay that part if you didn't notice that. But once you make that juke on the outside guy, you want to stay as far in to give yourself that sideline. That way, Dion is faster, but if you give them angles, they can cut you down. But if you don't give them an angle and you make them take shorter angles, because the AI will just run at you, at like shorter angles. If you run in, they still won't take like those angles to the outside. So next up is going to be picking favorites. So you need to intercept a pass and then score a touchdown. Once again, scoring the touchdown is not the problem. It's intercepting the pass because it is the 4th quarter. So you can't necessarily do the field goal block cheese. You could try it if you wanted to, but it wouldn't necessarily be the best. It could be super inconsistent. If you're having trouble just getting picks, I would definitely advise it. And I'll show you on the first play. I'll try it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I will show you on the first play if you do it. The thing is, they just sometimes don't run verticals. When you run it like in the 1st through 3rd quarter, like 95% of the time they run verticals. In the 4th quarter, that's not the case. So I will try to run it first just to show you. So it's just about getting a pick and then scoring a touchdown. So I'm just going to go base block right. And we see right now, it looks like we're going to have to go to Mel Blount because they don't have anyone on the right side. So we're going to go in. And if they do run verticals, it will work. But see, they ran a different play, as you can see. So they don't necessarily run the same play. So it does make it a little bit harder. So what I do is you can pretty much go whatever formation you want. I can run dime because this team is pretty versatile with my cornerbacks. So what I do is I'm going to play as Shazier in the middle, and you just try to bait somebody. So right there, as you can see, I let them think it's open, and then I run over and bait it. Pretty easy, and I believe you can score a touchdown on this. When I did it, I didn't actually score a touchdown on the pick, but you should be able to. And then just like that, we get all 4 stars done once again. So if you don't score off the pick, of course, you just have to score on the offensive drive, run whatever plays you can run, pass, literally do whatever you want to go ahead and get that done. But as we can see, that was pretty easy to do. Once again, you just got to bait it. You might not get it first play every single time, but as soon as you see what kind of route they're running, you want it to look open, and then you want to run under it and hold that pick button when you get close to it. So it works good for me because I do have a fast team. Not everyone does have really fast linebackers. So it doesn't work for everyone, but it does work for me. So right here, score a touchdown in 4 plays and perform a lateral. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this one as well. So this one, the lateral is the tough part unless you have a shovel option in your playbook, if you have a shovel option, I believe that should count as a lateral. I could be wrong. But since I don't have that, the easiest way I found, which it's super inconsistent on it, just because when you're lateraling, sometimes it could really mess you up and end up, going to the defense or things like that. So you may have to do this a cup more than once. Once again, it really depends. So what I do, since I have Michael Vick, and you could probably do this with a slow quarterback too, it just maybe take a little bit more time. So all I do is just run verticals. And then all I'm going to do is take off past the line of scrimmage with Mike Vick. So I'm going to drop back. I'm going to run up the middle, take off past the line of scrimmage. As soon as I pass the line of scrimmage, I'm going to click that lateral button. And like I said, if that happens, we're going to have to restart it. I did complete the lateral. You also could go for a pick right here. That's if you do the lateral and you don't want to restart it, just go ahead and try to get a pick in the first play with the field goal block, and then just do it that way. But I don't mind just restarting, because honestly, by the time you do the pick, you might already have this lateral done. So the only tough thing to know is that it is 3rd and 15. So on 4th down, you will have to get the first down right here, which is going to be a little luck. So as we see, it pitched back to the right person that time. So then what we're going to want to do is this. They give you the Falcons offense in here. So I just run PA post shot. It's a little bit different than PA post or the PA crossers, but pretty much the same thing. And then we need this first down really, really badly, which we're able to get it with Juju. And then, like I said, I always run in. That way we get the angle. It works pretty much at every see. He runs with me, and then when I run outside, I'm able to get the angle on him. And then boom, just like that, score the touchdown. So I just run PA post shot out of their offense. But that 4th down is huge. Once again, that's why you might have to do it a couple of times, just because the 4th down it could be inconsistent. Definitely go to your bread and butter play for that 4th down, because you do have to get about 15 yards, unless you get lucky and your lineman can get like 5 to 7 yards off the pitch, but it's not likely. So right there, that one is done as well. And you can see they're not super terrible to do. Once you do them once, it obviously becomes a lot easier. The last one we do is the never kneel, because you have to perform 2 laterals and then win this game as well. And obviously I'm doing them all on 3-star as well in real time. I don't cut or anything like that. That way you can tell that they are really super easy if you do focus and do it correctly. If you pay attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing, it shouldn't be too hard. Even if you don't have an amazing team, it's definitely doable, a lot of them. Like I've said a ton of times, you definitely want to get speedsters. That's one of the most important parts of a budget team. If you are on a budget team, is you got to get speed. So right here we are loaded in. We need 2 laterals and then to win the game. So it is 1st and 10 on the 20. So once again, I'm going to go 5 wide, and I'm going to chew clock, because we also only need a field goal to win. So if we can, we don't want to give them the ball back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off, and I'm going to pitch it, which Marquise Pouncey luckily picks it up. So that is going to be one of the 2 laterals. And I'm going to chew clock this way. After this play, it is going to go to that 2-minute warning. So I can just go to recent plays. Doesn't really matter. Just run. You don't have to run 5 wide either. I just found it kind of useful. I'm going to take off and then pitch it. And right here, it actually pitches the Dion, which is actually pretty useful. That actually makes it a lot easier. So now I'm just going to choose a play. This way it goes to the 2-minute warning. Now it should be 3rd and 2. Now, once again, super easy to complete. And running a drag might not be a bad idea. I didn't really notice that until now, but running a drag so that way you can, do we have inside zone? This playbook's a little bit different, so the plays are different. But if you run like a drag or a swing, you could probably pitch it back to them, and I didn't even realize that till now. So that could be very useful. Maybe you run someone with your running back on a swing, and then run to that side and then pitch it back after. That could be pretty useful. I didn't think about that. So right here, we're going to run this. It's 1st and goal. They don't have any timeouts now, so once it gets under the 120, or we want to make sure it gets under 120 for that play. You could take knees if you don't want to score or something like that. It doesn't really matter. We just have to run one more play, and then on 3rd down, we will kick that field goal for the win. So right here, boom, we just let it get to 40. That way we don't mess up. Just keep it in the middle of the field, but it's a dome, so we're not really worried about wind or making this by any means. And then right here, I just kick it, but I hold it. That way it gets to 2 seconds when I'm this close. That way we for sure don't have to run another play. And then boom, just like that, that's another win. So as soon as it does that, boom, we'll see that it does give us the win. So hopefully that video does help you guys out in doing these solo challenges. If it does, drop a like on it, comment with any questions down below, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell, and as always, I will see you guys next time.